Hi, I'm Jeff, and welcome to another one of my videos where I take a look at all the new comic books coming out on either November 23rd or 24th, 2021, and I ask myself the question, what one new comic book would I buy this week if I could buy just one book? Well, it's the week of Thanksgiving. Happy Thanksgiving to all of you. Let's go ahead and jump right into the content of this video. First, by taking a look back 2 weeks to my pick from 2 weeks ago, which was Venom, issue number 1. And the question remains, was it a worthy and worthwhile pick to be my just one book pick of the week? And the answer is yes. Yes, it was good. I expected it to be good, and it was good. Ram V and Al Ewing have started a story where they've raised the stakes a bit. They've created a new mystery, they've given us new characters, they've given us new things to think about. Al Ewing is a writer. My impression of him is that he's a bit heady. The Immortal Hulk is a good example of that, so is We Only Find Them When They're Dead. He's a bit heady, and I can see Venom going in a bit of a heady direction, kind of high concept. But that's okay. That's pretty cool. Will it appeal to the core Venom fans who just wants to see the lethal protector kick some butt? I don't know. But I could see it appealing in general to most comic book readers. I'm a little bit on the fence about whether or not I will continue reading Venom in the long run. I'm really trying to cut back on my new books. And this is one, after reading it, I thought, well, maybe I could let this one slide. But odds are I probably won't. I'm probably going to read at least the first 3 or 5, get a real sense of where they're going with the title, and then decide if I'm going to stick with it. And part of the reason that I can kind of take it or leave it is I was never a really big Venom fan in the first place, but there's some there, so it might be worth checking out and sticking with. All right, let's continue this week's video, as I always do, with my 5 honorable mentions, and then I will end with my just one book pick for this week. The first honorable mention that I have, everything this week is new books, so be prepared for that. My first honorable mention is Joy Operations, issue number 1 from Dark Horse Comics. Here's the description. 55 years from now, Joy is an envoy, a special agent of one of the Jonado Trust. Trusts are corporate-owned cities that are the centerpiece of modern society. She rights wrongs for the trust. She is excellent, perfection, hard on herself, driven, almost legendary in some parts. Until one day, a voice pops in her head trying to get her to betray everything she has ever believed. All this, and also an exclusive look behind the scenes at a look forward to another Jinx World project coming exclusively to Dark Horse. Okay, so this sounds like a cool concept. It sounds, like it could be pretty entertaining, pretty action-packed, pretty awesome. The main draw for me and this book, however, is the writer, as usual, Brian Michael Bendis. Bendis is, I think it's not too big of a leap to say Brian Michael Bendis is a legend in the comic book industry. So whenever he has something new that's coming out, it's worth, at the very least, taking note of. And the fact that this is, I believe, a creator-owned project, it's through Dark Horse, so I imagine that it is creator-owned, means he has complete control over it. He might be able to, might be a sandbox that might be a fun place for him to play. So I would definitely consider checking this out. If you're a Bendis fan, if you're a bit of a sci-fi fan, a sci-fi action fan, this might be a book to consider checking out this week. The next book I want to mention to you is X-Force Killshot, Anniversary Special, issue number 1 from Marvel Comics. Here's the description. Celebrating the 30th anniversary of the iconic team, creator Rob Liefeld returns to the characters he introduced 3 decades ago to tell a brand new adventure featuring these hard-hitting heroes. In this special issue, the man called Cable assembles the combined might of 5 different X-Force squadrons, each gathered across various points in time for one final mission, to defeat Strife once and for all, at all costs. Sacrifices, betrayals, and revelations await as X-Force attempts their most daring assault ever. Okay, well, X-Force is a fun group. If you like over-the-top 90s art and action, Rob Liefeld and X-Force will absolutely deliver that for you. So, there may be hardcore Liefeld fans, hardcore X-Force fans. This is going to be a no-brainer for you. But similar to kind of Joy Operations, this is going to be action-packed. So if you're looking for a little bit of some throwback art and action in a special anniversary issue this week, you might want to consider checking out X-Force Killshot. All right, the next book that I want to mention to you is Captain America / Iron Man issue number 1 from Marvel Comics. Here's the description. A government agent turned Hydra provocateur stages a daring breakout on her way to prison, attracting the attention of both Iron Man and Captain America. When Steve and Tony realize they both have a connection to the slippery fugitive, they team up to track her down, only to discover she's not the only player on the board with big plans and sinister motives. Well, the first thing I want to mention is this awesome Alex Ross cover. Fantastic. Might be worth picking up just for that. But also, I mean, if the MCU taught us anything, a Captain America Iron Man team-up is a pretty entertaining team-up. These are 2 characters that have diverse enough skill sets that they can complement each other, but also are similar enough, in power level that they complement each other, but also different enough in personality that they're interesting to have as a team. There's kind of, a little bit of built-in, conflict there, maybe a little bit. That might have been more in the MCU than it is in the world of comic books. But basically, these are 2 characters that people love to see in action. And so teaming them up, it's just kind of like comic books, in my opinion, which should be first and foremost fun. And when I think about Iron Man and Captain America together in this book, I think, well, you know what? That sounds like fun. So if you're looking for fun, you might consider checking this out this week. All right, the next book I want to mention to you is Hawkeye, Kate Bishop, issue number 1 from Marvel Comics. Here's the description. Kate's heading home, or at least back to New York. And as much as she wants to go back to where her friends, her chosen family, are, she's changed since she was last on the East Coast. So she's picked up a pit stop case first. A confidence booster to prove to herself she's making the right decision and not going to backslide into her past just by changing time zones. Besides, the case is perfect. Swanky resort? Check. Jewel heist? Check. Almost definitely 100% a trap? Check. Don't miss this exciting new miniseries from New York Times bestselling writer Marieke Nijkamp and artist Enid Balam. I'm sure I butchered those names, but I did my best. All right, so I picked this one because of the Hawkeye television show that is going to be coming in the MCU, and that's basically the only reason I picked it. I don't know much about Hawkeye as a character in comic books. I definitely don't know much about Kate Bishop as the character of Hawkeye in comic books. But this might be a good read if you are interested in a primer for the MCU television series. If you're looking for a more a cool female-centric superhero story, especially of a younger female, this might be one to check out. I don't want to get too much into demographics, but unfortunately, because I don't know a lot about this character, I kind of have to fall back on that. So I put it in my honorable mentions because it is new, is coming out this week, and I could see it appealing to certain readers, so I wanted to make sure to mention it to all of you. The next book I'm going to mention is Black Panther, issue number 1 from Marvel Comics. Here is the description. New creative team, new direction. The long shadow starts here. Secrets from T'Challa's past have come back to haunt him. Fresh from returning from his travels in space, Black Panther receives an unexpected and urgent message from a Wakandian secret agent. Now, T'Challa must race the clock, not only to save his agent, but also to keep his true agenda under wraps. Because if the truth comes out, it could cost T'Challa everything. Academy Award-winning writer John Ridley and Stormbreaker artist Juan Cabal launch an all-new Black Panther series with an action-packed espionage story that will upend everything in T'Challa's life and have ramifications for the entire Marvel Universe. Okay, so this is a Black Panther number 1, so that's reason enough to be interested in this. Black Panther is one of those characters that people liked, but got the MCU Midas touch treatment, which is that the MCU has done such a good job of taking certain characters and making them look as cool as they possibly could be, and really bringing people into checking them out. For me, it was Thor. Thor was a character that I was never really very interested in. He seemed to kind of like hoity-toity and flowery in his speech for me. I thought he was cool, but I wasn't really interested until I saw the portrayal of Thor in the MCU, and I was like, this is a great character. And then I started reading Donny Cates's Thor book, and I was like, okay, I really like Thor as a character. I think he's a lot of fun, he's strong, he's powerful, and very appealing to me as a reader. I think that Black Panther has had that same effect to a lot of people from a lot of different ages, from a lot of different demographics. He's just one of those characters that the MCU made look so cool. I mean, he was cool before his inclusion in the MCU, but now he is especially cool. I've seen so many, Black Panther costumes on little kids for Halloween for the past several years that you gotta think, okay, yeah, Black Panther's cool. If the kids think are into it, then he's probably pretty cool. And I think he is. I think the MCU made him very cool looking. Now, I'm not necessarily big on gravitating towards him in a comic book, but it's a new creative team. If you ever had an interest in Black Panther at all, either you've been reading the comic book before, I would definitely recommend continuing to read this one if you've already been reading Black Panther comics. And if you hadn't been reading Black Panther comics, this is an excellent opportunity to jump on. If you're a fan of Black Panther, you just hadn't been picking up the comics, starting off with an issue number 1 with a new creative team is the perfect place to get on board. So I had to recommend it to all of you this week. All right, well, those were my 5 honorable mentions. Now it brings me to my pick. The one book that I would buy this week, if I could buy just one book, is Hulk, issue number 1 from Marvel Comics. Here's the description. Immortal no longer. A brand new creative team delivers a new, colossal-sized era. The uncontrollable rage of the Hulk has reached an all-new level, but nobody, including the Avengers, is prepared to handle it. But is it really the Hulk that people should be afraid of? Or is there something missing to this puzzle? Join the superstar creative team of Donny Cates and Ryan Ottley as they look to the stars for the next era of Hulk. Okay, so as I kind of mentioned with Black Panther, if you are interested in the Hulk as a character and you just haven't been reading the Hulk in comic books, you missed out on the Immortal Hulk, but you've just been curious about checking out Hulk in comic books, this is an excellent time to jump on a Hulk storyline with an issue number 1 with a new creative team. And that creative team is Donny Cates and Ryan Ottley. Donny Cates is somebody that I am absolutely a fan of. Now, Donny Cates' star, I think, has been dropping a little bit. It's not rising, it's kind of falling a little bit these days. Nothing significantly, but there was a lot of heat and a lot of buzz around Donny Cates a year or two ago. And I just don't hear people excited about Donny Cates much anymore. And I'm not exactly sure why that is. I think there were a lot of moments of really big spec potential that people got excited about with, both with Thor and the Black Winter, and then there was some stuff going on, with like Null and in the Venom book. But then there hasn't been much of that, and a lot of that spec kind of has simmered down. I think that some of that spec might come back someday. Like, I don't think Null is dead, by the way, and I don't think we've seen the last of the Black Winter. But right now, it's on the back burner in a major way, so people aren't excited or as excited or talking about Donny Cates as much. But one thing that Donny Cates does is, for me, he delivers on, oh, wow, that's awesome type of moments. Times where I flip the page and I'm like, oh, this is so cool. Like thinking about the last issue of King in Black, where I believe, what did he do? He took, Donny Cates took, was it Mjolnir and Silver Surfer's board and put them together and made this like cosmic axe thing. I mean, it's a little bit ridiculous, but it's also totally awesome. And if I think about how much fun you could have with the Hulk, if you just go all out with him, if you just go into we're just going to go crazy awesome with this character, I could see the Hulk having a lot of potential for crazy and awesome. And where the Immortal Hulk didn't refocus on Hulk smash type of Hulk perspective, so to speak, it was much more cerebral and much more like Hulk asking himself the question, like, why am I the Hulk, and things like that. This could just be Hulk working out his frustrations and really just trying to be as awesome as possible. It's also implied here, it says here, as creative team Donny Cates and Ryan Ottley, as they look to the stars for the next era of Hulk. Hulk apparently is going out into space for this next story. And so we're going to get kind of, I guess, cosmic storylines out of the Hulk. I think this could be, so if you take the combination of just awesomeness that you could potentially have with the Hulk, and you put him in space, which is inherently awesome, I don't know. This could be seriously over the top, seriously ridiculous, and a bit of a groaner. Or it could just plain be fun and awesome and entertaining superhero comic book reading. Because I still have confidence and faith in Donny Cates' storytelling and ability to deliver on this is amazing type of moments, that is why I am excited for this book. And that is why Hulk, issue number 1, is my just one book pick for this week. All right, so that's all the information I have about this week's comic books, except check out something that's going to be coming out very soon. I'm probably going to post it at around the exact same time as I'm posting this video. I'm going to make a video that's about the 14 books that are coming out for Local Comic Shop Day, which is also taking place in this upcoming week. So I'll just go over what those books are so that you know what you might want to look out for this week at the comic shop as far as that is concerned. If you like my list and you like this video, of course, as always, likes are appreciated by me. If you have books that you're excited about next week that I didn't mention, or if you want to talk more about any of the books that I did mention, let me know down in the comments. And also, if you haven't already subscribed, I invite you to subscribe. Make sure you hit the notification bell. I will be putting out a handful of pretty cool videos coming out in the next week or so. A CGC unboxing and some mail call stuff that might be worth checking out. All right, thank you as always for watching this video. I'll see you in the next one.